Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bedrock Guide. Today we have a big project in store, and we are already started on our resource gathering. We are down in the branch mines collecting some obsidian. The best way to do this while avoiding falling into lava is to take a water bucket and drop it down somewhere and just go ahead and start mining, because the water will actually flood the area before you can get to it, and it'll keep all that nasty lava away from you and your precious gear. If you don't happen to have aqua affinity on your helmet, then make sure just to drop it at foot level so that you can mine a little bit faster, because if you are submerged underwater, then it's going to take you about twice as long to mine one piece of obsidian. So just a little bit of a time saver for you and something to keep you safe. Let's go ahead and talk for just a moment about the project we're working on today, and that is a gold farm. It is going to be an overworld-based portal ticking style gold farm, and I've got a decent design already worked up in a creative testing world that we're going to be using for today's episode. Okay, so we're back over here at the base area, and I've already put together a dirt outline of generally where I want the portal to go. Now, it's running straight through the mountain, but we do have a bunch of obsidian that we've gathered from the very beginning of our progress today. We've got 6 stacks of obsidian here. We're just gonna go ahead and grab all of them. 4 portals, that's what we're going for. Let's go ahead and line up this obsidian. This is going to be a 23 by 23 shape, and that is because that is the maximum amount that you are able to do and still light a portal and have it activate. If you try to go any larger than 23 by 23, it will not work. And I've already counted this out, so you don't have to sit here and listen to me count over and over and over. We've got 23 by 23. And we'll go all the way down here, and we'll just finish this out until it's a square. All right, folks, we've got the first nether portal in place. It is a 23 by 23 square, and I've made sure to remove any obstacles that might be in our way. I can see clearly now the stone is gone. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're going to light the portal, and it doesn't work. Yay! 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's 1 block too wide. I don't know how, but somehow I feel like that was Prowl's fault. So we're just gonna go ahead and send out an honorary blame Prowl. Now that we've got the dimensions corrected, this should light up like a purple Christmas tree. There we go. That's fantastic. So we've got our first portal up and running. It's lit, it's working. So we're just gonna go ahead and break this, turn it back off. We don't want it running right now. We'll leave it off while we build the other 3 portals, and they're gonna go just like this. We're gonna do side by side, side by side, side by side, until we have a cube of portals. Hi, buddy. Your new home is not ready yet. You should go on back through there. Thank you. Bye. Okay, we've got all 4 portals in place, and I have tested all of them, and they do light. I've moved all of the blocks that are in the direct path of the portals out of the way. What we need to do now is I need to clear out this entire area in the middle of the farm. And if you missed it a couple episodes ago, we did go and fight a couple of withers. One was a little bit cheaty, one was 100% legit, and we died a lot. It was bad. But we did come out on top with the prize, and that is these 2 nether stars right here. So what we can do is place 1 in the middle, 3 obsidian along the bottom, and 5 pieces of glass to get a beacon. And then we do have 2 stacks plus 36 iron in order to craft our beacon base. And I think this looks like a decent spot to activate our beacon. The main thing that you need to make sure of is that wherever the beacon is placed, you need to have no obstructions above it. So what we need to do is we need to take our iron blocks. You can also use things like gold, or diamonds, or emeralds, or even netherite, and you need to do a 9 by 9 base to get the maximum effect. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll go 9 this direction. So there's our 9 by 9 square, and then what we need to do is go in by 1 on each side. So this will be a 7 by 7 sitting directly on top of that, and then a 5 by 5. followed by a 3x3, and then our beacon right in the middle. You should see a beam firing up into the sky, and this is actually not the end of it. So since we have a great iron farm at our disposal, we'll jump down in here into our storage, and we'll grab one piece of iron. Then we can go up to our beacon and right click or hit the use button, and it will take you into this user interface. You can go ahead and select haste, or if you want speed or resistance or jump boost or strength, you can select those as well. But for our purposes, we need haste, and our secondary power is going to be haste 2. So we'll go ahead and toss in our iron, and we'll hit the check mark, and we should have haste 2 right there. So as long as we're within the active radius of this beacon, which these portals definitely should be, we will have haste 2 on our tools in order to dig things out a lot faster. And look at this, dude. It's just cutting through like butter. Now, the problem we're going to have is trying to get rid of all this snow and digging out all of this stone before that snow comes back. But we'll just sit here and chop away and get this area cleared out, and then we'll move on to the next part of the gold farm. Okay, we've got a lot more progress done here. We've dug out this entire center area of the gold farm, and we've even got a section cut out here for a platform for all of our piglins, or ziglins, because they're zombified piglins, to drop down, and they will eventually be flushed by some water. You can kind of recognize some of the structuring that we've got going on here that was very similar to the iron farm. It'll flush them toward the center, and it'll stop about here. One of these couple of blocks here is where the water's going to stop, and right here in the center is going to be live bait. Me, I'm going to stand here. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. This is where a turtle egg is going to go, and we're going to go grab one of those here in just a little bit, but we got a little bit more work to do before we're ready for that part of the project. I have some light blue concrete. This is just an infrastructure block. You can literally use anything you want. You can use stone, you can use obsidian, you can use ancient debris if you really want to, but we're going to use light blue concrete, and we're going to come out to about here. And what we're doing here is building out a basic little area of infrastructure that's going to hold our clock circuit that will power this entire farm. Then what we're going to do is take a sticky piston and place it this direction so that it is facing toward the farm. And in front of that, we're going to place down a redstone block. And then we'll take one repeater set to 1 tick and face it this direction. And then because this block right here is powered by that repeater, when we place redstone dust down, it will power the redstone dust. And then we can take a repeater and place it down right here. And loud obnoxious noises in 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. That's it. That's our redstone clock. And we're going to go ahead and grab the one lever that we have on us and place it down and power that piston so this is completely shut off. This is what is going to do the ticking of our portal. And the nice thing about this is we can go ahead and power this back on. And if we adjust the timing of this repeater right here, we can actually slow down the clock with each tick. But after I've done some pretty extensive testing in my testing world, it's gonna be okay to leave it on the fastest mode right there. All right, rather than fumbling around while you guys watch me lay out this infrastructure, I went ahead and did it behind the scenes, and we'll talk about it as we go along and talk about why we made each particular move. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a repeater right here to carry the signal further from this block to here to that block, and then we'll take another repeater so we've got a fresh signal again, and then we're just going to carry this out until the signal is dead. So we've got redstone dust all the way down to 15 blocks. This is absolutely the farthest a redstone signal can go before it requires another repeater, which we are in luck. We have some more, so we're going to place one down right here. All of these are set to 1 tick. These timings are very, very important. And then this block is going to be powered right here. And then out of the side of this block right here, we're going to place a redstone torch. Then what we can do is we can take a dispenser and place it down right here, and one right here. You heard that click. That's a good sign. This bottom dispenser is going to be for water buckets, and this top dispenser is going to be for flint and steel. That's the entire circuit all the way to this point. Then if we come over here, we are going to have another dispenser right here and another dispenser right here in order to power power and depower this portal. So both of these portals are just about set. Then we need a way to get the power to come from here over to our dispensers on this side for the second portal. So we're going to take a repeater and place it down right here. Again, set to 1 tick, and then we'll have a redstone dust, and that one you heard it click because it's powering that block. Good to go. And basically the same thing here, redstone dust, and as soon as this powers on, click, click, everything will come to life. That is the bottom circuit. Then we'll come over here and start again. This block is going to get powered and depowered when this redstone block ticks back and forth. So if we place dust on top, we get a little ticking signal right there, and we'll carry that signal up one more block right here. But then this is where it varies a little bit. All of the repeaters to this point have been set to 1 tick. This is going to be set to 3 ticks. The reason we are setting this to 3 ticks is because this is going to allow the signal after this point to tick half the times that the bottom signal is ticking on and off. So basically what's going to happen is this water is going to go out and then it's going to go back in. And when it goes back in, this will fire once to light the portal, and before this can fire again, the water will go out and then it'll come back in. And then this will light, and so on and so forth. Well, let's go ahead and finish off this circuit. We need to go ahead and place a torch right here, and then dust and dust. This is half of the gold farm completely finished. Now, what you're thinking is, I can take this circuit and I can just slap it over here. Not quite. There is a slight variation in what we're going to do over here, so pay close attention. We have a couple of things that we need to add in order to get this thing to tick correctly on both sides. You can see we've got 2 different lanes over here, and they both serve different purposes. This one right here is the exact same idea, not the same layout, but the same idea as over here. Bottom row is to tick the water buckets, top row is to tick the flint and steel. Then this row we'll explain here in just a few minutes. We'll take a repeater set to 1 tick, power the block in front of it, and then we'll take another repeater right here. Then we're going to take 15 redstone dust and run it down the line here, and then we'll get a repeater to carry the signal through that block, and then 1 redstone dust right there. You hear it click. This one is powered and ready to go. Then we'll take some redstone dust and place it down right here, and in the same fashion as we took that repeater and set it to 3 ticks, we're going to do the same thing. This is where it switches up just a little bit. We're going to run redstone dust all the way into this block. It will power this block, and then we're going to invert the signal with a redstone torch. And then from this torch, we can place 1 redstone dust here and 1 redstone dust here. And then we can do the same thing as we did on the other side. To carry the signal over here, we'll grab a repeater and redstone dust, and then we'll do the same thing here on the bottom. Now, one thing I do want to explain to you guys about this outer circuit that we're about to put in, this is not entirely necessary. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's a nice thing to do for aesthetics. When you shut this system off, these 2 portals will stay lit, and these 2 portals will go dark. I don't really like that because this side of the system is going to be exposed to a lot of our visual area here. We're going to cover it up with some mountains, but we're still going to be able to see this, and I want this portal and this portal to both be on, so we've got a fix for that. In order to solve that issue, we've got this block right here that is sitting next to this piston now, and this block, when powered, will turn the thing on, and then when powered off, this is powered and will send a signal down this line. Now, once we get to here, this is very, very different. We've set these to 3 ticks. This is going to be on 4. And we're going to carry this all the way out until the signal is at 15 redstone pieces right here. This one will also be 4 ticks. Then we'll carry this on over and up, and then another repeater into this block set to 4 ticks. Then we'll carry this on around the corner, set this one to 4 ticks, and this whole system is completely done. So what this is basically going to do, when this system is done shutting off, it will power this water bucket on, and then it will shut it off. And because these are all delayed by 4 ticks, this is the last thing that will happen in the whole system, and it will power this dispenser to turn these portals back on, and same thing with this over here. We can load it up, and this thing will be a gold farm, but we're not ready for that yet. We don't want to power it on because we have nowhere for our piglins to go. That's the next phase. Over here, I've got something a little special prepared for you guys. we got a little sandbox. And inside the sandbox, boom. Look at this. We got a couple of turtles. This guy, his name is Bert. Bertle. Get it? Bertle the turtle. And this guy's name is Shelly. We've got 2 turtles. And if we go down here and we take some of this stuff right here, this seagrass that can only be mined with a pair of shears. It will not work with anything else. If you try to use anything else, it's just going to break it. But these guys absolutely love to munch on some seagrass. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down here and say, munch, munch, Bert, and munch, munch, Shelly. One of these turtles is going to start digging in the sand, just like that. And here in just a moment, we should see some turtle eggs. Look at that. These, they can only be mined with Silk Touch. So out of this one, we are going to get 4 turtle eggs. Now, the important thing about turtles, you can't kill them to get scoot, okay? It doesn't work. Don't try it. Personal experience, don't do it. The other thing, too, is these guys have to have a home beach, and this happens to be their home beach. So I trapped them here, I named them, and now they will lay eggs at this beach. If this is not their home beach, they will not lay eggs. They will try to travel to wherever their home beach is, so just keep that in mind. Once you place eggs down on sand or red sand, these will start cracking on their own over time and hatch a baby turtle, and wherever you place it, that is also their home beach. So some interesting turtle mechanics that you didn't expect to get today out of the video, but there you go. On over to our gold farm. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna place a turtle egg right here in the center. This will never hatch because it can only hatch on sand or red sand. So we're not going to get a baby turtle. It's just going to sit there, and the piglins are going to get really angry that that's sitting there, and they're going to try to run after it. They won't chase after this egg unless there are trapdoors here and trapdoors there to make them think that they can actually get that egg. We've got our trapdoors in place, and I've dug out a small little drop area here. This is not where we're going to finish. We actually need to drop some water sources in here to force our piglins into a 2x2 so that we can get a trident killer going down at the bottom. So in order to flush our piglins into this 2x2, we're going to go ahead and poke out the corners of each of these little cutouts here. So here, here, and here. Then we're going to take water buckets and drop them in those holes just like that, and that, and that, and that, and last but not least, that and that. So, anywhere that a zombie piglin drops into this little area, they're going to get flushed toward this 2x2, which is actually covered in 4 signs so that none of the water will fall below this point. And then from here, we're going to drop them down 20 blocks to get them close to half a heart. I think it's technically 22, but we'll just get it close. We are here at the bottom of the drop area, and I'm going to be real with you guys. My intention for this video was to actually finish the entire farm, and we're gonna get close. But we are not going to finish the trident killer aspect of this farm today. We're already pretty far into this video, and I don't want to rush this. I want to make sure to explain it well and show you guys exactly how those mechanics work. So we're going to save it for the next video and probably make good on our guidebook challenge that Prowl gave to us recently. So be sure to subscribe to check that out in the very next episode. But we are not quite finished yet. We've got a couple things that I still want to do, and I want to test out the farm just to make sure that everything is working properly. So we're going to go ahead and enclose this area right here so we can trap any zombified piglins that happen to fall. We're going to leave an opening right here so we can reach the zombified piglins with our axe or our sword for the time being, but we need to make sure to have a trapdoor here because the baby zombified piglins can escape if there's not a trapdoor here, and they're quite vicious. We do have this turtle egg that we talked about earlier that will attract the attention of the zombified piglins, but if they're too far away, they just won't care. So we need a way to flush them in, which is where these blocks come in. We're gonna go ahead and put some water down here and some water down there to create an infinite water source. We're going to skip this block and this block. No water right next to the elevated one, but we'll drop a water source right there. We'll just continue this on around the farm until we've got water streams flowing from every direction that flush our piglins toward the center. And there are our water streams all finished up. One thing to keep in mind when you are this high up in the air, be careful of freezing water. This stuff will freeze over and turn into ice and render these water streams useless. So what we did to prevent that is put a little overhang right here so that there is no sky access. Or you could put torches all the way around here. Last couple things we need to do before this farm is ready to test. We need to go to our dispensers here and drop our water buckets in any of the slots. It doesn't matter, just because I like to have things centered. We'll put that in the center there, and we'll do the same thing over on the opposite side of the farm in these two dispensers. And then we can take some of our flint and steel stash and toss these into the top dispensers all the way around as well. We've gone to all of this trouble to build this farm, and we haven't really even talked about how or why this works. When you light a Nether portal, there is a 3 in 2,000 chance that a zombified piglin will spawn from these portals updating. That seems like slim odds, but you have to take into consideration that every single block worth of portal is giving a 3 in 2,000 chance. So there are a lot of portal blocks within these actual Nether portals. Those stats are actually for hard mode when you're playing Minecraft. Easy and normal, it's actually even harder to spawn zombified piglins, so you're gonna get even fewer if you're not playing on hard mode. Always play on hard mode. So every time we update these portals, also known as ticking the portals, it repeats that chance to spawn a zombified piglin every single time for every single portal space. You can imagine that this will do a lot of spawning once these things are flickering on and off really fast. So what we need to do is go ahead and pre-light these portals. We'll go ahead and do all 4. You may have seen that one has already spawned in, and he's chasing down that egg and going on down into the drop chamber there. Goodbye, buddy. Have a nice fall. So yeah, we only lit 4 portals once each, and we already got 1 zombified piglin. That is a pretty good chance of getting zombified piglins. Now, just imagine, again, what happens when we tick these things really fast. Well, imagine no longer. We're going to go ahead and turn this thing on and give it a quick little test. It won't be for very long because we're going to have to manually take out any zombified piglins that happen to land at the bottom there. But here we go in 3, 2, 1, first test. And there you have it. Our portals are ticking on and off, on and off. That is a good sign. Let's go ahead and fly up here. Oh, yes, you can already see all of the zombified piglins. This is a very fast farm for the size that this is. This is actually really, really good. And we're already clogging the system a little bit. Oh my gosh. That's absolutely nuts. We may have to do something about that. Let's go ahead and shut this thing off, and we'll take a look at how many zombified piglins we have down in the drop chamber. Oh, that is just mass chaos, dude. Oh my word. And they're still falling because they're still kind of clogged up there. I have an idea of how we can fix that, but we need to take all of these guys out first. And we're just gonna go ahead and collect all this XP while we're at it. As you can see, there's a variety of items laying on the floor there. There's gold nuggets, there's gold swords, there's zombie flesh, there's some gold ingots. This is all very, very, very valuable stuff that we will need and use for other things. If we jump down here into the drop area, we'll be very careful not to fall down ourselves, but we're gonna try to put one sign right on top of that one. There we go. No, thank you. And then we're gonna put another sign right there, and no, ouch. Oh no. And we'll place another one there and another one there. So now we shouldn't have as much of a clogging issue because we won't have any zombified piglins bobbing in the water before they fall down. They'll just kind of drop over the edge, and that'll be that. Let's give this one final test to make sure the clogging issues are all cleared up. Let's fly up top. Oh yeah, that is much better, much smoother. Our zombified piglins will fall right in and keep that whole area relatively clear. It might start backing up a little bit as the farm gets going, but it'll be a lot faster than it was before. But guys, that is going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bedrock Guide. If you did, be sure to leave me a comment about something you learned and maybe something you'd like to see in a future episode. Again, go ahead and start leaving those suggestions for Prowl's guidebook challenge because his is going to be coming up real soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more content just like this. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.